And specifically in Nigeria, we work with our government and non-governmental counterparts to strengthen the migration management system in the country, including various aspects of it, including migration data, starting from migration data strengthening, labor migration options, capacity building components, and awareness raising on the ground to ensure behavioral change communication is actually reach the source communities and they're able to know and make informed decisions when it comes to migration-related decisions that they face every day. And of course, this is complemented by the protection and assistance, direct assistance to migrants, including where the assisted voluntary return programs fit in. And we have been running these programs since over 10 years, actually, for example, here in Nigeria, where thousands of Nigerians have been assisted to voluntarily return and reintegrate back in their areas of origin.
Now, let's talk about Libya itself. Why is that country notorious for the slave market?
Okay, this is a general, let's say, fact where trafficking and smuggling criminal networks flourish in an environment where migration management or the rule of law are compromised or do not exist, or they take advantage of migrants' vulnerabilities in situations where crisis or emergency situations happen. And the situation, I will leave it, better information would be our colleagues in Libya explain it. But generally, that smuggling and trafficking network, that not only does it touch Libya, it has so many other countries as crossing transit countries. That's basically a clear indication that migration management needs to be strengthened there. And that's what the smuggling and trafficking networks are actually taking advantage of, the absence of such stronger systems where collaboration among governments need to be also strengthened. And actors such as IOM and other the UN agencies and other international organizations need to also contribute to improve the migration management structures in place.
Now, you mentioned earlier that the IOM has been doing this for about 10 years. That's bringing back Nigerians who are stranded in Libya and other parts of the world. But looking at the numbers now, has there been a dramatic increase over time?
The assisted voluntary return programs have started quite low and mostly focusing on returns from the European Union member states. And recently, with the increasing irregular migration flows and the number of people that are stranded in transit and destination countries, the return aspect of it has also increased significantly. And we've had thousands of people already assisted since the beginning of this year, for example, with the support under this European Union IOM Joint Initiative for Migrant Protection and Reintegration program, which is run throughout the region. More than 4,400 people have been actually assisted to voluntarily return to their areas of origin in Nigeria.
Now, going forward now, the Nigerian Ministry of Foreign Affairs says that the Nigerian embassy in Libya has a record of 2,778 registered Nigerians in accessible detention camps, and they are ready for repatriation. Are there any plans for them when they return?
Let me look at it from a general point of view. So all the cases or the migrants that we assist to voluntarily return, we do provide reintegration support. Again, thanking the European Union's contribution for funding this assisted voluntary return operations. We provide in-kind reintegration, which is multifaceted, one being individualized, collective, and community-based reintegration that actually addresses the immediate needs of returnees, as well as the communities that are receiving this large number of returns in Nigeria. So we'll be providing those returnees with reintegration support. And of course, there are discussions with the, you might have followed the European Union discussions on recently in Abidjan to actually expedite the return of African migrants who are detained in different parts of Libya. And with this, under general framework of these, we'll be getting more details on the operational aspect of it and the figures. But generally, there is such an agreement to provide more return assistance.
The Program Manager, Migration Management Unit at the International Organization for Migration, Ibrahim Tamarat. Thanks for speaking with us. Now, more than 5,000 people have fled their homes in the Democratic Republic of Congo every day during the first half of 2017, leading to the country being labeled a country in mega crisis. According to a report by the Internal Displacement Monitoring Center, the figures mean that for the second year in a row, DR Congo is the country worst affected by conflict displacement in the world. Fighting between armed groups added to a worsening political crisis as President Joseph Kabila refuses to step down. The Norwegian Refugee Council's country director in DR Congo, Ulrike Blom, says that the scale of people fleeing violence off the charts, outpacing Syria, Yemen and Iraq. The United Nations declared its highest level of emergency in October, but less than half of the money needed has been received. And parents have reportedly stormed the gates of a college in central Ghana after a mysterious death of 4 students. Another 18 students at the Kumasi Academy in Ashanti region are receiving treatment, with the local health authority appealing to the World Health Organization for help containing the outbreak. The parents are desperately trying to remove their children from the school. The Kumasi Regional Health Director says the school will remain open until Friday, until the students and teachers can be screened before being sent home. And the United Nations Children's Fund says that the number of 15 to 19-year-olds dying of AIDS-related illnesses in Central and West Africa has risen by 35% in just 6 years. There are fears that the number could remain high as the youth population grows, especially as 4 in 5 children infected with HIV in the region are still not receiving the life-saving treatments that they need. West and Central Africa is home to 25% of children living with HIV worldwide, but has limited capacity to diagnose the virus, meaning parents are not seeking the treatments their children need. The region's UNICEF director, Marie-Pierre Pura, has called for improved early diagnosis as well as access to treatment. And the United Nations has awarded China with the prestigious UN Environmental Award in Kenya. China's Shanhaba Afforestation Community scooped the prestigious UN Environmental Award for its outstanding contribution to the restoration of degraded landscapes amid the national efforts to advance ecological civilization. The announcement about the Shanhaba Afforestation Community emerging among top winners of the annual UN Champions of the Earth Award, the highest environmental honor of the United Nations, was made in Nairobi, Kenya, during the ongoing 3rd UN Environment Assembly. The Executive Director of the UN Environment Programme, Eric Solem, hailed the Shanhaba community for pioneering the innovative but cost-effective grassroots-led initiatives to reclaim degraded landscapes. And coming up after the break, students in South Africa face a tough task of combining music and making money back home. Do stay with us.